What's up guys, Simon here, and hey, I, as the title suggested, just got a new project. We sold the other two, sold the Civic, sold the Blazer, and we're in the market for one. Ever since Noah got that 2002 Toyota Celica, I have wanted one. They're just so cool looking, not that expensive. They come with a manual most of the time it seems like, and they're just so cool looking. I know a lot of people have opinions about, oh, the last generation of the Celica is really dumb. Yeah, they're all slow. It's kind of lame. The GTS is pretty sweet just because of the high revving Honda nature of it, but obviously not as cool as like the old AE86s that they came from, you know? But I picked one up and we're gonna look at it today. We're gonna talk about what it needs, what we're gonna do to it, all this stuff. I actually liked Noah's so much, in fact, that I bought it. I bought it from him. Now, some of you might be wondering, why? I thought you guys had plans for that. And we did. Except Noah had grown kind of sick and tired of it just sitting on his property. He didn't really have the funds available to throw an engine at it, which is what it needs. So we're gonna kind of dive into that, tell you how we got to that diagnosis, and yeah, just kind of look it over. But I bought it off of him so that we can continue on work. It's awesome. Here we go. Huh? Hey, what the fuck are you doing? Are you stealing my tools? Hey, read the shirt. Sorry, my bad. What the frick are you doing? Are you stealing my tools? Okay, yes, I am stealing your stuff. However, wither in pain, idiot. Do you want some headlights that are bright enough to flash bang an intruder? Top link in the description. Get yourself some Oxydo LED headlights, baby. And here you have it. The engine bay of this beautiful 2002 Toyota Celica that I acquired from our best buddy, Noah. Now, you'll notice there's a cold air intake on it that we have a video putting in. There's some nice halo headlights on it that we have a video putting in. And that's pretty much it, other than the exhaust work that we've done. Now, I will link all of the videos that we've done on this car at the top of the description. But I want to readdress exactly what the problem is with this engine and how we know that is the problem. Now, cylinder 3 has no compression. We did a compression test in one of our videos where we kind of went through the series of how to diagnose a misfire. This one, you can kind of tell in a lot of ways. Number one, obviously the compression test, but there's other easier ways to tell. It's got a misfire code. It's got a flashing check engine light, which indicates a misfire. And when you crank it, it doesn't sound like an even crank. It doesn't sound like a red. It's got like a that is a cylinder with no compression, and the starter isn't having to fight the compression on that stroke. And so I'll start it for you here and you can kind of hear that. And that's like your number one tell that, hey, there's a loss of compression here. Could you guys kind of hear that? I bet you could. Also, you'll notice that the exhaust note sounds just like a Subaru, but it's got more of a ticking noise to it. These engines aren't supposed to sound like that. They're supposed to sound a little bit more like a Honda, kind of a farty type of deal. So that's another tell that you've got like a serious misfire. So there are all these things kind of pointing us towards that. So we did a compression test, found out cylinder 3 is dead. Now, we don't know if it's like a dropped valve, a broken valve, cylinder scoring, ring issues. We don't know what's going on, but we do know that it consumes a lot of oil. And that is a pretty good indication that there's oil getting past a bunch of the rings, most likely on the dead cylinder. And you know, none of that oil getting splashed up into the cylinder is getting scraped back down, so it's just burning. So we've got some work cut out for us. Now, there's a website. There's a couple actually. The one that we're gonna go with is out of California. They import Japanese engines, like engines out of Japan, because in Japan, the emission laws are basically that you have to replace your engine after 60,000 miles in a car in order to keep the emissions within standard. I mean, you guys thought emissions here were bad. Holy shit, that's pretty awful. But that is wonderful for people here in America because these companies can import these engines that have been ripped out of perfectly good cars and give them a second life. And for only $1,200, I can get a full 1ZZFE engine with the intake and exhaust, and I think even a starter. Like, it's everything you need and they've all been checked to a certain extent to make sure they're in healthy functioning order. They come with a warranty, and they're just great. It's a great service. So what we're gonna have to do is rip this thing out. Rip it all the way out. We're gonna do it with the transmission because that's gonna be easier just to do all of that with it out of the car. And then we're just gonna throw a new one in there. And it's gonna be super exciting and a really good experience for anybody involved. And then at the end of all that, we're gonna take this one apart and see exactly why it failed. This engine is also a testament to the reliability of Toyota. It has had a dead cylinder for probably 10,000 miles that we know of. And Noah bought the car this way from the previous owner who had been driving it like this as well. This thing has had a dead cylinder for, possibly more than 10,000 miles, and it will not die. It won't quit. This thing just keeps going and going and going. And that's just a testament to the bulletproof nature of Toyota engines. They may be missing a cylinder, but they will keep going, and that's pretty cool. So now I'm going to go over the car a little bit in better detail than you guys have probably seen, just so you're up to speed on exactly what we want to do and what has already been done. So here's a little bit closer look at the air intake. Goes down into the wheel well, down in there, getting the coldest, freshest air. Here's the headlights. It's a little dirty. It's been sitting for a while. They're the wonderful Halos, the eBay special. Great headlights though. Moving around, you can see we have the Raceline stereotypical black rims. Pretty cool. In the front, we do have drilled and slotted rotors and performance pads. We put those on when the last rotors got worn through, essentially. Inside the car, you can see that there's a Boss Audio head unit, and it actually has wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I think that's a feature that is really nice to already have in a car. And we're going to install a subwoofer and a backup camera. Those are the plans for this whole situation. Everything else inside works. The lock and unlock works. The windows all work properly. Everything inside is really in great shape. And these cars have a ton of room in them. That speaker buzzes a little bit. If it is blown, we will probably be replacing that as well. The sunroof works as well. Then of course we have the custom exhaust. We've done some work on this. It's got like a can muffler on the back. And then when Noah first got the car, it just had a straight pipe with the O2 sensor just zip tied up underneath the car. We put in that resonator with an O2 bung so that now it runs a little bit better, but obviously having a dead cylinder is having a dead cylinder. Now, obviously this is a pretty big project to be taking on after all we've really done is just cheap eBay mods. So don't be surprised if there's a week or two somewhere in there where we can't get a video out just because we're waiting on an engine, or we run into a problem where we have to diagnose it or order parts or whatever. Just bear with us through this. We will try and keep the content coming as best we can. I also want it to be a learning experience for anybody else involved. I want them to have some hands-on with just pulling an engine. Very few people get to do that, especially under the supervision of someone who generally knows what's going on. And that's gonna be super fun. So stay tuned for that. This was just kind of a little update video to let you guys know like exactly what's going on and what the plan is and that it's actually going forward. So all that being said, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And show us some love in the comments for hopefully how excited you are to see this project go ahead. I will see you guys in the next video.